There's a rally in Midtown this afternoon pushing for a public inquiry into the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. A source tells CTV News the long-awaited line could open next Sunday. The province isn't denying that, but the TTC still isn't confirming it. For more on this, we're joined live by CP24's Andrew Brennan. Andrew, what else can you tell us?
A few things, Arda. So you talked about that February 8th situation. Well, as one of the people that got everyone into a fervor about that is Councillor Josh Matlow, because, we'll go through that in a second, but we have to talk about why we're here first. Why are we here?
We're here because no matter the date that it's opening, and yes, we believe now it is February 8th, the Eglinton LRT construction over the past 15 years has been handled poorly is an understatement. $1 billion cost overrun, 6 years delays, hundreds of businesses either struggling or shut down, communities affected. And every time Metrolinx or the government has been asked questions, they refuse to answer. There's been secrecy and very little transparency or accountability. So together, Torontonians and I and my colleagues came together to demand a public inquiry from the province and Metrolinx. And the reason we want this is both to hold those to account who have mismanaged this project for over the past 15 years, but even more importantly, we want to make sure that lessons are learned so that as they move forward with the Ontario Line, Scarborough, and transit expansion projects, frankly, that we want to see done, that lessons are learned and that they're done well and that they can earn the public trust.
Now, from the standpoint of Eglinton, however, should we not have learned, like your colleague Mike Cole brought this up, my dad brings this up all the time, but should we not have learned from the mistakes of years past, quite literally decades past, when we thought about doing the Eglinton in the 90s, even the 70s? What are we not learning from mistakes from years past?
I mean, that was a wholly political decision that one government digs a hole and the next government pours concrete inside of it. That was absurd. This project, though, there are a set of circumstances why this was mishandled. There were real mistakes made. But every time that you or I or anyone has asked Metrolinx or the government to just provide us basic information, they refuse to do so. A public inquiry would not be necessary if this had all been transparent, if there was complete accountability, and if the facts would come out. But we need daylight. And again, it's not just to hold the government or Metrolinx to account. We need to ensure that these mistakes aren't made so that businesses don't go down along the Ontario line, that communities aren't affected in Scarborough, that when projects are done, that every tax dollar is used well and the project is done on time.
So I see some of your office staff in the background, and I just want to make sure for people at home so they know people aren't leaving right now.
No.
So can you tell us what's happening for the rest of the afternoon and what you're going to be doing along Eglinton?
Yeah, so as a city, we're working as a village. We all came together both to have a little rally, but we're actually going to be postering the entire 19 kilometers of the Eglinton LRT line, demanding that the Ford government finally allow this public inquiry. There are people from across the city here, from Etobicoke to Scarborough, from North York and downtown. There are community leaders, there's BIA leaders, there are cultural leaders, there are elected representatives from all orders of government. The reason that everybody came together is that we want accountability for what went wrong. But the government of Ontario just refuses to allow that to happen. So we're going to go poster and we're going to send a message so when you do come to the opening on February 8th, that it's not just a celebration. It should be. We're happy it's opening. But it also needs to be a call for accountability so that this never happens again.
So Josh, and also to my producer, I'm sorry, we're going to take 60 seconds more very quickly. Because of the February 8th situation and the response that's come since then, one, the TTC isn't denying that it's happening, but they're also saying it is no way indicative that it definitely is. From the standpoint of Mr. Lally, the CEO, the government of Ontario seems to be in a little bit of a different case. But what happens if there is nothing that happens on February the 8th? Do you feel like you may have to have egg on your face, or do you feel like you had to do this?
So first of all, the fact that you have no idea really what went wrong and what went down through all this confusion is another reason we need this public inquiry. This should never have happened this way. I do believe, I've been told that February 8th is still the date that they're going to open it. I believe that Mr. Lally's concerns may have been addressed. I'll allow him to speak to that if he chooses to. But ultimately, whether it be February 8th or March 8th or whatever the date is, we still need to get answers for why all this nonsense, this boondoggle, happened. Why was there such a huge cost overrun? Why were so many businesses treated like collateral damage rather than part of the plan to keep them open? Why were there 6 years of delays? Why has there been absolutely no answers given for why anything went wrong? Were the tracks misaligned? Were there signal problems? What went wrong? Nobody knows because they don't tell us. It's time for answers, it's time for accountability, it's time for transit to open, but most importantly, transit needs to open safe, functionally, and well.
You said before it's time to see the light, as it were. Well, I think it's time to let you go see the light, because that's where the light, the sun rises. Well, the sun's over there. We're in the shade. I know. I appreciate your time, but I think this was a long way of saying thank you for your time. I know you have a lot of other things to do this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. As you can see, there's definitely reasons why people feel like they have to be here, whether it's a councillor or it's people that we actually spoke to some from Little Jamaica. There's other people that have come, as Councillor Matlow did say, from across the city. I'll share a little bit more with you later on, Arda, about what people are saying, why they're here when it's minus 20 plus wind chill, walking and pounding pavement down Eglinton. We'll go through that later on, but for now, we'll send it back inside to you.
Thank you so much for this, Andrew.